In this lesson, we are going to finish our part. For that, we are going to use the turning profile finishing strategy. Turning profile finishing can be applied to the outside diameter or inside diameter of the part. You can control the step per cut, stock amounts, cut direction, starting position, and cut extensions to cut beyond the profile of the model. Be sure to have the Turning tab selected from the ribbon bar. On the Turning toolbar, select the Turning Profile Finishing icon. On the Tool tab, press Select to enter the tool library. Inside the Fusion 360 library, select Turning Sample Tools library, and then, from the list in the middle window, select the VNMT right-hand tool. The VNMT insert configuration is a common insert shape for finishing. In the Feeds and Speeds section, you can use constant surface speed to set your cut rate or disable it to set an actual spindle speed and feed rate. Most lathe programmers want to use constant surface speed and enter the surface speed and the cutting feed per revolution to determine their speeds and feeds. For now, we will leave the default speeds and feeds for this tool. Let's go to the Geometry tab. This is where you would select the front and back areas to be machined. The dialog shows me that the front mode is set in reference to the model front, which is good, since we faced off the front of the stock. The back mode is set in reference to the model back. As in the last toolpath, we want to cut past the back of the model, and since we will require a parting operation later that will use a 1/4 inch wide cutoff tool, we will set the offset value to -300 thousandths. Let's go to the Radii tab. The Radii tab is for setting clearance positions and cutting areas radially across X. The clearance height is the fully retracted position outside the part. It represents the safest retract for the first rapid position and the last height after the toolpath has been completed. The from reference is set to the stock OD, and the offset is set to 400 thousandths on my system. Plenty of clearance to the outside of the stock. The outer radius represents the outer surface of the stock to be machined. For this, the from reference is set to the stock OD, and the offset is set to 0 on my system. The inner radius is the final cut depth in X. Even though the from reference is set to the stock ID, the tool will never get to the part center line. It cuts everything within this boundary that can be cut without violating the part model. There is nothing to change here. Let's go to the Passes tab. To prevent dipping into the open groove areas, set the grooving parameter to Don't Allow Grooving. You can see the step over amount per cut is set to 0.0393 on my system, but since the number of steps is set to 1, it will simply take a single finish pass. Let's go to the Linking tab. Linking controls what will happen between cuts when the tool needs to retract and reposition. Consult the tooltips for additional information on these parameters. For our toolpath, there is nothing we need to change in here right now, so we will press OK. And there is our toolpath, finishing the profile. Zoom in at the back of the part. If you examine the toolpath in the browser, you might see a yellow warning. If you left-click on the warning, it will display the reason for the warning. In this case, Fusion had to modify the toolpath to make it safe for you. The lead out has been modified due to a gouge with the remaining stock. Close the warning dialog. Right-click on the operation, select Edit, and go to the Linking tab. If you look at the lead and transitions, you can see the lead out is set to an angle of 45 degrees. From where the toolpath ends, if it moves at 45 degrees, it will collide with the stock. There are two ways to fix this. Option 1, if you absolutely cannot violate the stock area, disable Same as Lead In and make the angle for the lead out 90 degrees. Option 2, if it's okay to cut the remaining stock, the simpler way is to enable Allow Lead to Cut Stock. Fusion will allow the lead out move to enter the stock area. Press OK. Now you can see the warning is gone. In this lesson, we learned about the turning profile finishing toolpath strategy, selecting a tool from the library containing the cutting area, multiple cut step over amount, how to read warning messages, how to adjust lead in, lead out parameters, and how to force the tool to clear the stock. Press Ctrl S to save the part, Command S on the Mac.